Welcome to the Angel Mystic podcast. I am super excited you are listening because this is where spiritually open minds can come together to explore the wonders of angels, spiritual connections, and the art of manifesting. Hosted by me, Amanda Tooke, the Angel Mystic, your spiritual midwife to help you on your journey to a fulfilling and happy life. You may have seen me on ITV, Channel 4, or even in Fate and Fortune magazine. In each episode, we will delve into the mystical world of angels, offering you insights, guidance, practical tools to deepen your connection with the upstairs so that you can find inner peace, happiness, joy, and create the life that you want. Tune in for weekly, fun conversations, transformational insights that will elevate your spiritual journey and awaken your inner mystic. Please hit subscribe now as we embark on a transformational adventure with the Angel Mystic podcast. Welcome to the Angel Mystic podcast. This episode is about breaking through imposter syndrome. Now, you might be surprised to hear, but this is one of the issues I really do struggle with. So today we're diving into this topic that I know that lots of other people suffer with too, but imposter syndrome, it can really hold us back. So let's delve in. For me, that imposter syndrome happens every time I do a podcast. Yet here I am recording another. So I actually procrastinated on making these podcasts and bringing them out for 3 years. 3 years they were intentions. This year I'm going to do a podcast. This year I'm going to do a podcast. It never happened. So eventually when I did it and you think, oh, I've got the first one out the way, you might think that that's going to be it, plain sailing. But honestly, there's resistance every time. And that resistance is something that happens even when I'm organized, when I'm prepared, when I know what I'm talking about, or even when I'm just doing it on the hop, when I'm just going with the flow with what comes through. But every time I finish a podcast, I think to myself, that was rubbish. Every time, without fail. And I will do my best not to listen to them because it just makes me cringe. But then when they pop on, because if you listen to them on Spotify, if you're listening to a podcast like I do in the morning and it comes to an end, it automatically starts playing another one. And quite often my own will come on and I'll end up having to listen to it because I'm in the shower and I can't change it. And I listen to myself and I think, wow, I actually know what I'm talking about. And I can't believe that when I've done the recording, I'm thinking to myself how negative, how ridiculous I'm going to sound. But this is how it turns up for me. Now, imposter syndrome might show up for you a little bit different, but it is that nagging, that feeling of self-doubt, that little inner voice that really convinces us that we're not good enough, that we don't belong, that we shouldn't be doing this, that we're faking it, that in any given moment, someone's going to find out the truth about us. We're going to, like this fear of being exposed as a fraud, even though we're doing just fine. We might even be thriving. So it's a real block, imposter syndrome. And for me, it's something I have to push through all the time. It's a lot about self-doubt. It's about perfectionism. I know when I speak to other people about it and I hear people that are really struggling to acknowledge their own achievements, instead of fully sort of acknowledging what they've done, they start to question it. Well, did I really deserve that? Did I really, do all of that? And that doesn't mean they're just being nice. It means they've got imposter syndrome going on. So self-doubt and perfectionism, that feeling that your work has to be flawless. And if it's not, you've somehow failed. That's all part of it. Now, there's many mistakes in my podcast. Many mistakes. But I just move past them. The fact is, I love doing lives because live is live. And if you mess up, you mess up and you just move on. When you're recording something, it's like almost like it needs to be polished. And that can really stop you getting anything out into the world. It can lead to constantly overworking, rechecking things, avoiding doing things. But I spoke about this in other podcast episodes, and I really believe that progress is far more powerful than perfectionism. Perfectionism doesn't even exist. I mean, what is actually perfect? I mean, who has a perfect life? I don't. So always choose progress over perfectionism. And when you're doubting yourself and doubting and maybe discounting the success that you've achieved, thinking, oh, it was just due to luck or it was a one-off, rather than recognizing the skills and the hard work that you've done to get you to wherever you need to be, you need to have another look at that and ask yourself, is this your imposter syndrome presenting? Maybe you've got that fear of exposure that you're going to get found out with something, that others won't see you as qualified, as professional. Maybe they'll see you as incompetent or not good enough. This is all in your head. This is your ego holding you back, trying to keep you safe. And no matter how much positive feedback people are saying, oh, that was amazing, that was great, well done, you feel like it's a bit of an act, that eventually your true lack of ability is going to get found out. And in that, we often have this inability to internalize the success that we've achieved. You know you've done the work logically, but there's something in you saying you just need to do a bit more. And if you're recognizing anything that I'm talking about right now, I invite you to close your eyes if it's safe to do so and take a deep breath in and let yourself know that you are totally normal. These patterns are just stemming from unconscious beliefs that you haven't dealt with yet, that have been building up over time. And they're all based, as ever, on past experiences. Maybe social conditioning, maybe ancestral lines are coming in, generations of patterns of self-worth that have been passed down from generation to generation. But imposter syndrome will block your manifesting if you allow it. And manifesting, of course, is just about making your dreams come true. It's about making those thoughts that you have in your head come into your reality. But imposter syndrome is more than self-doubt. It really is a huge roadblock with that manifesting that you want to do, that new life. When we're trying to manifest something, we're not just working with our thoughts and our intentions. We're working with energy. We're calling things into our lives that match the vibration that we are giving out, that we honestly believe is possible for us. But as you get caught up in that flipping cycle of doubting your worth and feeling like we don't deserve our achievements and getting bogged down with negativity, what kind of vibration are we sending out? And then we wonder why we've not manifested what it is that we want. If we believe deep down that we are faking it on some level, that we are unworthy, that good things are only happening by accident, we are really sending mixed messages to the universe. We're asking us something that we don't fully believe is going to happen, that we are worthy of it, that we are deserving of it. And we need to remember that energy flows where attention goes. I'm sure you've heard that saying. So where is your attention going? When we're focused on unworthiness, on lack energy, we're going to unintentionally manifest more of the same. And who wants that? Not me. So how do we shift it? Let's talk about some ways that you can shift imposter syndrome and align with your true worth. So I think this is a really good place to think about being really compassionate to yourself and really mindful and noticing those thoughts when they arise. without any judgment. You're just observing them. Oh, there's that feeling again. Oh, yeah, I feel like I've not done a good enough job again. And remind yourself that is not a fact. It is only a thought. And when you become more self-compassionate, it's starting to get easier for you because you don't get the same frustration, the frustration with yourself for feeling like you're an imposter. I'm not saying this is going to be easy, but I'm saying it's worth a go, and keep chipping at it and approaching it with kindness, knowing that you're doing your best and that these feelings that you've got going on do not define you. So of course we can use power affirmations and we can rewrite our stories. And some examples of affirmations that I would use around this are: I'm so worthy of my success and capable of achieving my dreams. I am truly skilled and deserving of every opportunity that comes my way. My success is a result of all my own work. So try those affirmations for yourself. And whenever that little nagging voice of doubt creeps in, just keep repeating them over and over again. That's how we reprogram our unconscious mind and tell ourselves a new story that then becomes our belief, that then becomes our reality. Visualization is really helpful too. And think about a person who you consider that they think they are worthy and you think they are confident. Because we never really know how anyone thinks or feels, do we? But who is that person that you perceive to be confident and has got really good self-worth? Build a picture of that person in your mind. Close your eyes again if you can. And imagine a version of yourself who feels that worthy, that confident, and truly aligned with their purpose. Picture yourself standing tall, feeling powerful, feeling calm, and embracing the skills and all your achievements. Visualize yourself handling challenges gracefully, accepting compliments with ease, radiating confidence. Imagine what your life will feel like when you've no longer held back by that nagging self-doubt. And the more vivid you can make this version of you, the more it will reinforce a new empowering you. And then you can move forward with confidence, remembering that imposter syndrome doesn't define you. It doesn't diminish your worth. And every time you notice those little niggling, nagging thoughts creeping in, just acknowledge them and let them go and replace them with an affirmation. Because you can do this. You can totally do this. The universe wants you to succeed. So give it your best shot. Take those opportunities. Explore your gifts. And know that you're worthy of all the things that are happening for you. Sometimes I think when we're working with limiting beliefs, just acknowledging them is enough to shake it off. Now, before we end this little podcast, which I really hope you've enjoyed, and I'd be interested to hear your comments about good old imposter syndrome. And did you know that it affects me too? Because that's worth thinking about, isn't it? That you probably think I've got my ducks in a row and it's all easy for me. But it affects all of us. But we can push through it. So before we finish, I just want to remind you about the virtual vision party that's happening on the 30th of December. It is a party. It is a goal-setting workshop. We're going to be doing all the planning, none of this New Year's resolution stuff. We're going to be planning properly what you want for the whole year in all areas of your life. There is so much good stuff happening in this workshop. It's what I do every year. I've been doing it for about 10 years now, and this is how I start my year off right. If you want to join us, it's £33.33. Check it out in the show notes. Grab yourself a place before they all go. And then go out there and embrace your worth and let your light shine. Because that's what you came here to do. Until next time, thank you for joining me, and I will see you back really soon. Bye for now. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If so, please hit follow and share my message by sharing with your friends. It would be amazing if you can leave a review. All this will help, and it activates the universal law of the more you give, the more you receive. So it's a win-win. You can find more good stuff between episodes over on social media. Just search The Angel Mystic on Facebook, Instagram or TikTok, or check out the links in the show notes. I'd love for you to connect more over in my free group in Abundance Manifesting, all on Facebook. I hope to see you there.